Hello guys and welcome to Front Row Racing. I'm going to start with the hot topic you can see on our screen straight away. We only have 12 drivers for some reason, so apologies about this, ladies and gentlemen. We do have drivers lined up to race, a couple of which will not be with us. They have already forwarded on information regarding personal matters and catch-22. They've got to be somewhere else. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the drivers a couple more minutes, and while we're waiting, I'm going to crack straight on with this and give you guys the drivers' standings for the World Series. So it goes a little bit like this. We have Conzo in first on 134 points leading the way, with Win1 on 106 points in second. Then we have Calzo in the second Ferrari on 80, followed up by Stocky on 74. So looks like Red Bull have finally taken the fight to Ferrari. We'll see how that goes as the season pans out. Then in fifth we have Slimbo Dude on 49 points, followed up closely with Gonk on 43 in sixth. Valdemar in seventh on 34. Disappointing start to the season. Hopefully he'll have a cracking second half and give us some entertaining racing. He's definitely capable of doing it. Then just behind Valdemar we have Raikimi on 26 points. And in ninth we have Farfba on 23. Interestingly though, followed up is the admin's pick rookie on 14. And then we have a tie after that with Ali Munteen and Danny Railton on 12 points. Down at the bottom we have Fletcher Boy still yet to score, and it doesn't look like he's with us this evening, so his pointless run will stay the same. We have Shumi Garcia though, who is on 0 points, so hopefully he can pick up the pace and start scoring those points for McLaren. Other than that, what I'm going to do now is, before I go through the constructors, is just point out here, I'm going to call him Lovery. He's a new guy with us. He's got his seat today, and we'll see how he goes. He's actually in the Force India team now, as you can see. Oh, excuse me, just here. We have Lovery, new driver, should be a bit entertaining. His teammate is a new driver, and it's Uzi, who's making a return to front row racing. So he did say he'd be a little bit late, so it's another driver to be there, but it's a new pairing, so it'd be well worth keeping your eyes on them and seeing how they go. Other than that, that is the grid. That is the standings for the World Series table. I will give you the constructor points. So in first we have Binmen Ferrari on 214 points, followed up closely by Blue Bull, Red Bull, and they are on 192. So it would seem Red Bull have upped their pace and starting to take the fight to Ferrari there. Sorry. And then moving on down, it's a big old gap down to third in Toro Rosso. They are on 117 points. Then in fourth we have Haas on 101. Not a bad system there for the owner, he's looking good. Then in fifth we have Mercedes on 86, followed up by Williams in sixth on 55, McLaren bringing up seventh on 40, Force India then in eighth on 28 points. Then we have the Renault team on 14 points, but they are tied with the admin pick rookie car on 14. So be interesting to see how all these teams get on. It's nice to be hearing and seeing all the teams are scoring. It's a shame for the turnout we've had lately, but as I said, we should have the likes of Uzi joining us shortly, and we'll be going from there. But unfortunately it looks like we may only have a grid of 13-14 drivers this evening, so apologies folks. Again, on our page we have got listed to drive 16, so but just to give you a bit of heads up for that, we are now advertising for permanent seats in the World Series and World Champion section itself. The World Series, as I've stated, we have filled the team of Force India with 2 new drivers, and from here we have 1 seat for the McLaren, which may be filled. We're just waiting upon a reply. So again, initially we only have 2 seats left folks, so if you are interested in joining and coming racing against these guys that you will see this evening, then I recommend you get that messaging quick, because the seats are now starting to go. Just a little update for the World Championship for you moving forward. We did take part in our event last night, and I did myself. It was a bit of a hectic start, a bit like Austria. Just a bit of information for you. Um, but on that note, we are struggling to find a broadcaster for that event. So what we are now doing is we are opening it to the likes of Facebook and other places like Twitter. We are now advertising for a broadcaster and someone to join them on comms if needed. We do have commentators, but it's an option there to bring your own team. So, yeah, if you feel if you feel you have got what it takes to race against these guys, drop us a message, hit us up. We're on Facebook, and we will give you the relevant information and rulebook. And if you're still willing to participate, we will sign you up. Other than that, the broadcaster side, we will see how it goes. We've got 2 weeks till our next event, and we plan to have the broadcast back online by then. We've got a couple of options in line. We're talking to about the broadcasting. It depends if they have the time or not. So if you feel you've got what it takes to put on a great show, an entertaining event, and make this race come alive with your thoughts and views, drop us a message, and we will give you give you the information required on bits and bobs we do, and we will go from there. So, as I said, guys, those are the standings and the constructor standings. That is the information that is going on. But right now, we are going to send these drivers over to the track. Tonight's event for you is round 10, Silverstone, and we are now at the halfway point. It's getting a bit interesting up at the top. It seems will one win one. Maybe the driver to watch out for as he challenges Konzo for his lead in the Drivers' Championship, but also in the Constructors. As I stated when I went through the standings, Red Bull seemed to be the team on the move and putting a bit of pressure on to Ferrari. So we shall see how this goes. As I said, it's round 10. It is now the halfway point after this event. Oh, sorry, halfway through this race is the halfway point, should I say, I believe. And we will go on from there. So, interesting days ahead, especially with this event. Yesterday's event threw up a storm. We had, a dry overcast qualifying with a miserable wet race that threw up a lot of spice, position swapping and everything else. So, we're hoping for a bit of the same from these guys this evening, just without the weather, because Silverstone I find is a more entertaining race when you're doing it in the dry, nose to tail. But we'll see how these guys go. Qualifying coming up, just waiting for the drivers to load over, and we shall see what is what here today. This evening, should I say, in Silverstone. My man for pole, I don't know, Stocky seems to be the man back in form after his victory in Austria. His teammate picked up third with Calzo in second, so drivers to watch out for. You're looking at the likes of Valdemar, Stocky, Calzo will win one, Konzo, and you never know, we may have a shock surprise with the new guys out on track. So we go, just waiting for everything to load up now, and we shall see what these guys have got. Unfortunately, we may have just lost Valdemar. Hopefully he can get back in. I believe I hear the pitter-patter of rain. I could be wrong. Bit intense waiting for this one. Is it the opposite, like it was before? Still waiting for the owner there, but yep, we have pitter-patter of rain, and it is not pitter-patter, it is a storm. So, we shall wait to see what happens with these guys. They may have been lucky, and they may have the event the other way around to what the World Championship drivers had to suffer yesterday. Looking at the tyre compounds, it is definitely full wet conditions. So, let's see who's what, where, when, and how these guys get on today. I can hear an engine firing up. It looks like a Mercedes may be looking to hit the track very, very quickly. We shall see. That Mercedes is the sole driver of Slimbo Dude. I believe he's heading out. We'll jump on board and see how bad and tricky the conditions are for the drivers today. So we'll jump straight on board once he gets out the pit lane and see what happens. But we're at Silverstone. I believe it's an 18 corner track. A lot of high speed. In these conditions they won't be so fast. A lot of heavy braking zones. Well, two crucial ones. This being one of them. Turn 3 coming into village. If you get that wrong, it can cause mayhem, because you can forget your line into 4. It's just about compromising it and bringing everything back together. So As you can see, a bit tricky there. These guys are running with assists. It would seem Slimbo Dude's the only one. Oh no, Gonk seems to be joining him now as well. But yeah, these conditions are very, very tricky. These guys are running assists, as I said. Even though they are, you can see Slimbo Dude fighting and a bit choppy at the wheel there. So assist or no assist, this is very tricky indeed. So what we'll do, folks, is we will go round with Slimbo, because it seems drivers are starting to come out. Ooh, very tricky. This looks wetter than yesterday. Bless these drivers, they may have their work cut out in qualifying today. But for you guys watching, this could be very entertaining, because for pole, this throws everything up into the air. So what we do now is we're just quieting down a minute, see how Slimbo Dude gets in, and see if what you guys think with the old conditions. And very treacherous, very early on the brakes, but hey ho, this is racing. So now I'm not going to shut up, and you guys are going to have to put up with me solo again, because Jamie James has had excuse me, something to take care of tonight in a game of football, bless him. But here we go. Slimbo Dude coming around. It was a nice clean exit off the final corner, the best he can do. Is he going to take this in 6th or 7th? He goes in 7th with lower revs, running wide. Oh, tricky. Has he caught it? Lovely save there, lovely save. That shows you how treacherous the conditions are when you touch the curb, especially. So we'll stay on board with Slimbo Dude for a minute. We know he made a mistake. See how he gets on sector 1. And then I will move on back down to the likes of Gonk, who may have started a lap already now, and see how they're getting on, because Slimbo made quite a mistake. But it was a 32.6 then, not a bad time. We will compare that to Gonk, who unfortunately we missed turns 1, 2, 3. Coming through 4, out village, excuse me. Coming up to 5, now in the dry this is flat, in the wet this is so tricky it's unreal, as you can see by Gonk's reactions there. But, excuse me, as he comes down, it's a 33.7. I tell you what, I am going to jump back on board with Slimbo Dude, as he is the first guy, so his sector time with that mistake was actually quite handy. So, Beckets, here we go. As we come out this right-hander, we're now entering Chapel, which is a very quick snap to the left, and off we go down Hanger Straight. It's a 1:15.3, which I believe is a pretty handy time going forward, so that's not too bad. But yeah, coming down to the final sector of the lap now, I'd say he's a bit cautious, committed as well though. Obviously every driver is going to be feeling their way into this session. Even with assist, these guys are going to have one hell of a time. But anyway, as we come around the final corner, it's a 1:43.4. I believe there's more time in the lap there, as we jump on board with Stocky, who I believe was in the 1:14s for a sector 2 there. So if Stocky hasn't made a mistake, that could say Slimbo Dude may have a second in his back pocket, but we'll see how that goes. So here we go, left into the right, bit of traffic in the likes of Gonk for Stocky, and it depends on these guys' fuel load, that may compromise his qualifying, but it comes up, it's a 1:42.67 tenths faster than Slimbo Dude, so a nice lap there. Two drivers we want to keep an eye on, we haven't seen a lot of them, will be Konzo and Calzo. Right now we are on board with the championship leader of Konzo. We'll see how he gets on coming up here. It's a little bit more. Ooh, he's ran wide. Not a good exit there. We'll see how he gets on coming up to sector 1 though. It's a it's a 32.1. Apologies there, folks. That's the fastest we've seen, but we've only seen 3 drivers, of course. So we'll see how Konzo gets on with the rest of his lap. Looks very, very tricky. A little bit of info for you though, as I will allow Konzo to come round the old first corner. At present we have Stocky in first, Calzo second, Slimbo Dude third, Shumigard Veer fourth, Loveren fifth, Gonk sixth, Wilwon Winwon seventh, and Raikimi in eighth. And once Konzo completes his lap, we will have 9 completed laps by 9 drivers. So we go, coming out of Beckett's now through Chapel, nice simple little kink there in the way. It's a 15.1, so at present he is down on Stocky's time. His brother Calzo has put in a 42.69, so he's only 300ths off Stocky's time. So what's his brother got? at the moment it looks a bit of a cautious lap from Konzo, but they do say the slower you go, the faster you'll go in sometimes. But as he comes around the final corner, it's nice, it's there, it's a 1:43.1, puts him into 4th place at present, half a second down off Stocky. Ooh, stay on board for this. Wow, how that sunshine, wow, how. So let's go down and have a look at one of our new drivers, or should I say new permanents. This is Uzi, driving the Force India. You'll see him for the rest of the season. Tidy, a bit shaky as he comes around the first corner, last few corners, sorry. See where this puts him. It's not going to be a great time as we go. It's a 1:46.5, but yeah, it's a bit tight there. The grid are spread out quite a lot, so this might be saying something about their setups or anything else. Some may have gone for dry, some may have gone for wet in qualifying, but we don't know what the race is doing, folks, so it's going to be a lottery for us. Now Calzo has just pit Stocky with a 1:42.5. Times are looking good. We shall leave Uzi right now though, because he seems to be a driver that may just be settling into his rhythm. So let's move on to Farfba, who's coming up to sector 1, and it's a 32.1. That is on par with the likes of Stocky and Calzo up front. So hey, come on Farfba, let's see what you got through the rest of the lap. Keep it neat, keep it clean. God knows where you will be. So down the old pit straight we go, folks. Looking good, looking tidy. No problems here. It's flat out. This old first corner though is very tricky. As you can see, Farfba coming down to 6th. Can he hold it? Nicely done, just within track limits there. That's actually looking like a tidy lap from Farfba so far, but we'll see how this goes through Maggots and Beckett's. Bit wobbly there, not looking too good. He may know the camera is on him right now. I don't think he likes it, but we're coming up to complete sector 2, and it's a 15.6, so about 6 tenths off the quickest time we have witnessed, so not looking too bad there. We'll follow Farfba and see where this puts him, because if he can hold this together, I reckon we're looking at a 6th or a 7th here, but the last 3 corners will give us our answer shortly. Bit wide there, not looking too calm and collected through those last few corners. There may have cost him some time. It's a 1:44.7, and I believe his lap was invalidated, so we may have followed that for no reason, folks. But moving on, let's go and see who else is out there, as Calzo has just put in a 1:41.8 in these conditions. Looking very handy here. Old Calzo, the Ferrari boys are looking quite good. At present though, a little bit of info, we've got Calzo in 1st in the Ferrari, Stocky in 2nd, so there's a Red Bull driver in 2nd behind the Ferrari driver. The 2nd Ferrari's in 4th, but Will Won't Win One is way down in 10th, now on another outlap. So, ooh, Farfba, big crash by the looks of that, may have actually picked up terminal damage, so we'll see about that as we go. I believe he has, his name has gone light, so that is not good news. It would seem we've got some drivers out. Oh, Zuzi compromises Calzo's line there, but Calzo may be looking to come into. No, I don't think he will, sorry folks. A bit nattery tonight, but time is flown past. We have only 2 minutes left. So, drivers to watch out for in these closing stages, I would say, are Will Win One. Konzo may make a surprise attack up at the front, and Calzo is ghosting, maybe out of fuel there, who knows. But we move down to Stocky. He's just starting his lap. He's 8 tenths off Calzo with Calzo's 1:41.8. Stocky needs to give it everything he has got now. Our race winner, excuse me, from Austria, so we'll see if he can back this up with victory tonight, or a podium, I'm sure Stocky would be happy with. But seems nice and calm. Car seems to be glued to the track better than most at present. But yeah, tidy through that second by Stocky there. Quite so. Ooh, speaking too soon there. I hope he didn't cut that corner, but it looked pretty close to me. But nicely goes, and Stocky's on his way. It's a 32.1 second sector 1, so don't know if that's up where they were the best, but we will find out as Stocky's lap moves on. Pretty nice out that corner there as we come down the old pit straight. I must admit I do miss the old layout because it seemed faster than this one, but they say this one makes for better overtaking. Stocky taking the old first corner in 6, getting the power down nicely and early as we head up into Maggots, then Beckett's, then Chapel. Stocky looking very planted through here in the Red Bull. Loads of downforce on that car. In real life, as to the game, who knows. But as we come up to Sector 2, Stocky, I believe, is on the ragged edge. No purple times or nothing like that. I had a 32.1 pop-up lens. That might be a Sector 1 time, who knows. But we'll see how this progresses. Coming around into the final few corners now, past the pit entry, a car in the pits down there. See how Stocky has got on. Skims the apex nicely there. Just touching that apex, really trying to get the power down as best he can. Coming up to the line, and Stocky has done a 1:41.4. It's no 42.6. Sorry, the time just changed on me for some reason. But move on down to Slimbo Dude, who's coming up through Beckett's now. On the exit of Chapel, see how he's getting on. It's looking quite tidy like Stocky, but his Sector 2 time saying a 32.6. So off the comparison to Stocky, he is 4 tenths down. So it could be looking like a good improvement. Shumi Garcia, oh la la, put himself up into second. I did say at the start of the show he hasn't scored points, and I believe he may be looking to rectify that this evening. So, Slimbo Dude, what have you got? You're coming up to the line, flying along, and we have jumped into second place with a 1:42 dead, basically, right behind Calzo. But as for the other Ferrari Conzo, he's now just finished hangar straight. I believe he's still on his hot lap, looking a bit scarce and wobbly on the exit there. Coming into the final few corners, can he improve on his 5th place? He's currently 1.3 seconds off pole. What's he got coming around the final corner? It looks good, this looks tidy. It is a 1:41.8. I believe he was our last man to cross the line. And wow, I will get the grid for you shortly, guys. Bit of an entertaining race there. A few drivers, you know, could be out of position here, but it's definitely interesting. So here we go. We have Conzo, championship leader in pole. We have his brother, Calzo, 2 or 300 right behind him. So both Ferraris locking out the front row. Then we have Slimbo Dude in the Mercedes in 3rd, Shumi Garcia in 4th in the McLaren. Then we have the 2 Red Bulls, Stocky in 5th, Will One Win One in 6th. Then we have Raikkonen in the Haas in 7th, Lovren in 8th in Force India, 9th is Gonk in Williams, Uzi's 10th Force India, Varthba is in 11th in the Haas, I believe it was RDB in 12th, and that would leave Valdemar bringing up the rear. So here we go, guys. It's dry, we have a dry race, so we'll see how they get on. Tyres for this event in the dry, you are looking at the super softs, the softs and the mediums. Strategy wise, you're probably looking at all drivers starting on the super soft tyres. If not, they're going to have their work cut out, but we'll see how it goes. Strategies, you can do super soft to soft. It's tight, bit edgy at the end of the stints, but it does work, and I believe it to be the quickest way. Then we have the other strategy. You can go on super softs to medium, or you could go the harder compounds and softs to mediums. All depends on how gentle you are to those big wheels with the rubber on them, and seeing how you get on. So this will be an interesting opening lap. The drivers just did a full wet qualifying session. It is now overcast. Rain may twiddle its way along at some point, but turn 1, 2, 3, very interesting, heavy car, and it is dry now. So here we go, guys. We're on board with Conzo. We have a man sat somewhere in the middle of the track for some reason, but we are off. The Force India is making a jump. We have Calzo up the inside of Conzo. Is he going to make it stick? They're both going along there, and oh, very, very interesting as they maintain formation with Slimbo Dude coming around the outside of Conzo, looking to make a move. Is he going to make it stick? That is a beautiful, he's positioned his car lovely there. Is he going to have the momentum to keep it in there? No, but we have the Red Bull being attacked. Oh, sorry, the McLaren being attacked by the Red Bull with Raikkonen just behind them. It's been a frantic, nice, gentle start. It would seem all drivers are going. And we have the Haas of Raikkonen with Will 111 trying to attack him around the outside. So it would seem Stocky has made the jump on 2 cars, and Will 111 has lost a position. With a Force India having a bit of a wayward moment, that is Uzi. Welcome to the league, Sunshine, take your time. find your way in. We'll see how this ends, because drivers will have momentum over him. The Sauber of RDB looking like he's going to... No, he backs out of it on the cars ahead. So back up at the front, we have Konzo looking to make hay while he can, with Slimbo Dude all over the back of Calzo, his teammate. Ferrari in a very, very strong position here. Stocky in 4th as we come down Hanger Straight, with Shumi Garcia in 5th. As you can see, it has been a pretty damn good start by all drivers. Let's jump back to the Haas of Roy Kimi, who's in 6th, with Will1 Win1 looking to make progress after his slow start. Just behind him is Lovren in 8th. In the Force India, RDB's just made a move on Farfba. Don't know how that went, unfortunately, folks, do apologise. But then we have Farfba. Oh, stop and go penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Very unfortunate there. So we'll jump back at the front, see how these guys getting on. Everyone seems to be within the second or half a second range from each other, so this is a cracking opening lap by all. See how they get on as it goes. We're now just going to get up all the telemetry you viewers like to see, and here we go. So the winners out of the start would be Stocky's up 1 place, Roy Kimi's up 1 place, RDB up 3 places, making a big jump there in the admin's pick car. Unfortunately, it would seem that Valdemar was unable to rejoin us, or may have just left us, so we are now down to 12 folks. We'll see how the racing goes on and the guys progress, but as you can see at Silverstone, it may be like this for a while, and these guys will be pushing the limits of this track, one of, if not the fastest track on the calendar after Monza when you throw in a few corners. So, as you can see, the top 5 seem to be making hay while they can, all the way down to Shumi Garcia in the McLaren. From 1st to 5th, we're looking at a 3.4 second gap at present, but the battle behind is Will1 Win1 and Roy Kimi, just not able to make a move at the end of Hanger Straight there. It would seem Will1 Win1 may have gone with the straight line speed, and Roy Kimi with the cornering. But this would seem where the entertainment's happening at the moment. We just see in the background Uzi trying to make up ground now, looking on fighting Gonk for the final points paying position on lap 3. Ooh, Uzi, ooh, really not liking that, and that has not been a good start to his front row racing career. But back up we go. Where is Will1 Win1? Here he is. It would seem, looking at the gap, Roy Kimi has the downforce in the corners. Oh, we've unfortunately just lost Uzi from the session there, so not a great debut for him. Hopefully things will be looking better in Budapest in 2 weeks' time. But we are here in Silverstone, and it would seem up at the front, Calzo is about half a second off his brother. Then we have Slimbo, who's dropped back a little bit more now. It's about 1.5 seconds off the 2 Ferraris. And then Stocky in close company behind Slimbo Dude, with Shumi Garcia close company behind him. So it's a bit tight up there. Two groups starting to form, and Ferrari seem very dominant at the moment. But I've just noticed Will1 Win1 is on the soft compound tyre, so interesting. That may be going against what his teammates doing. But we are now down Hanger Straight. Looks a bit too far off as we speak to make a move on Roy Kimi, but the DRS is now enabled. Will1 Win1 has just got to pick his moment. But we are now on lap 4. Unfortunately, we have lost Valdemar and Uzi now, so we are down to 11 folks. But the racing between these drivers should be pretty entertaining. Unfortunately, we're at one of those tracks where it is one of the hardest to overtake. So we're going to try and catch the moves as they happen, and as the race progresses. Just have a quick flick up at the three of it. No, they're about a second apart still, so we'll stay on board with these two, Roy Kimi and Will1 Win1, who look to be the closest drivers on track at present, and see if Will1 Win1 can attack at any point. But moving on, guys, I just want to give a reminder, we do still have a couple of spaces available in the WS. As I stated, we are missing a couple of our drivers this evening. They had a few problems. One had family commitments and couldn't be in 2 places at one time, and the other gentleman had a little bit of an accident. So hopefully they will be rejoining us in Budapest, but we shall see how that goes. Looking at the action of the onboard footage, as Roy Kimi makes a big mistake on the exit of Maggots going into Beckett's, now coming out of Chapel. This is Will1's perfect opportunity to get something done. Raikkonen moving to the left. Has Will1 got the straight line speed? Is he going to throw one up there? Nope. Sensible driver thinks better of it. Live to fight another day. But these two are now getting a bit, wow. These two, Will1 looks to be a bit anxious to get past, because he can see those top 5 drivers now moving away. The gap to 5th, you're looking at it being around 5 seconds, guys. So, excuse me, when Will1 gets past Raikkonen, he has now got his work cut out. So, but back at the top end, it would look like Stocky maybe closing in on Slimbo Dude here, but the Ferraris up at the front now have a gap back to Slimbo of 3.2 seconds. That's from the leader. So Calzo has a 2.3 second lead over Slimbo Dude. So the Ferraris seem in a world of their own. They've had a couple of blippy races in Baku. Not a great result for them, both needed front wings, and Austria wasn't a great result either. Calzo managed to claw his way back up to 2nd, but his brother Conzo had a bad race, and I believe he finished in 7th or 8th, so both Ferraris here after two bad races will be absolutely loving this and wanting to get things back on track. As you saw the little Ferrari blur in the front there. But looking at Stocky, still not in a position to make the move. Let's have a look back at Will1. He looks closer than normal, or closer than he was before, should I say, the lap before. But not quite close enough to make the move. It was Raikkonen's had a very slow exit. Coming down into the final 3 corners, what's Will1 going to do? He's going right round the outside. Absolutely superb. Full commitment. Raikkonen not looking for the switchback. Tried to get a better exit, but not working. So we'll jump back on board with Raikkonen now to see if he's got any attack to come back at Will1. As we come up to Village now, Raikkonen definitely looking like the faster driver in the corners and on the brakes a lot later. Will1 looks like he's gone for pure straight line speed. As you can see, the nose of that Haas nearly kissing the rear of the Red Bull. But 2 seconds, folks. Apologies, as Raikkonen has his DRS and is not it looked like the gap actually stayed the same there. So what is going on as Raikkonen got his downforce levels wrong? But we shall have a quick nose at this and see if he has got the straight line speeds to give Will1 something to think about, because it looks up at the front for 3rd and 4th. Stocky is getting closer and closer to Slimbo Dude as Raikkonen has a bit of a moment on the exit there, coming into Maggots and Beckett's. Can he close up on him? Will1 that is looking a bit more stable. Will1 throwing that Red Bull in, and it would seem may just have had the gap there. Let's have a look at Stocky up here though. He's about 7/10 behind Slimbo Dude, and it would seem Shumi Garcia has dropped off a little bit there. We'll go back to check on Raikkonen and Will1. It would seem Will1 definitely has the lower aero. But I've just noticed behind these two there is a Sauber in the likes of RDB on the soft compound 2, slowly catching up. So RDB is actually quite impressive. One thing I do want to say about RDB while we're on board, he actually took part in the World Championship and actually put on a good showing until he hit retirement. So congratulations, fella, it's good to see you in there, and good to see you putting on a great show. But let's move back up. Raikkonen's progress, it would seem he's just holding station to Will1, not able to capitalise, hasn't got the straight line speed, so he may be in just for the tow at the moment. Pull me along, see if you can pull me back up. But while we're waiting for this, what I will do for you now, folks, we'll stay on board with these two. They seem to be the closest drivers on track. I will give you a rundown of the current order on lap 7. So in the lead, Gonzo, about 9/10 ahead of his brother Calzo. So it would seem Calzo's now starting to make inroads into that lead, given it was just over a second. Then in 3rd, we have Slimbo Dude, 3.3, as Raikkonen's had a massive moment. Lucky he collected that and went off track. That could have been worse than it was. Lost a little bit of time there to Will1 and RDB maybe looking to put pressure on. But yeah, we were up to 3rd with Slimbo Dude, 3.6 seconds off the lead. With Stocky, 1/10, missed that, 1/10, looking to make the move around the final corners. No, not happening. It would seem that the front three runners have gone on the super soft compound, and from stocky back they seem to be on the soft tyres. We will check that as we go. We just wait to see. Ooh, stocky. It's like he had nitrous oxide then coming out of turn 2. Holds his line and hits his braking point for turn 3. Side by side they go through 4. Looking quite nice, sensible, lovely bit of space given by the driver. Stocky's got the high ground. Slimbo Dude running a bit wide there, wasn't forced out. Lovely bit of driving all round there. Well done, guys. Slimbo Dude, is he going to come back? Got the DRS? Nope. Is he going to look to switch it back? Nope. No chance of getting Stocky out of position there. Stocky in the yellow Red Bull, my bad. Taking a bit of a tighter line there. Then Slimbo Dude seems to be holding the middle of the track, and we'll see how that progresses, because drivers want to keep an eye on that. If a driver's taking a slightly different line to you and it's working, it's well worth eyeing it up, following it and seeing if you can make it work for you. Here we go, maggots and brackets. Flying through here, Slimbo Dude doing really well with the turbulent air coming off that Red Bull. In fact, actually getting closer to Stocky, so as Slimbo got a bit more higher aero than Stocky in front, we shall see, but Slimbo slowly breathing it in, minutely. No, not even going to think of a move down into the right-hander there. So it would seem holding station. Stocky running a bit wide there. Looked like he'd done his ETL because the car came back, good to see. But what we shall do is see if these two have any type of moment coming into turns 1, 2 and 3 again. These two looking very, very hungry. A little bit of an update for you on Will 1 Win 1 and Rai Kimi. Will 1 Win 1 is now over a second ahead. Let's jump on board with Stocky. I believe Slimbo Dude's engine is over, revving on us. Somebody did just pick up a 3-second time penalty then. It might have been Slimbo Dude, I could be wrong there. Sorry folks, I didn't quite catch the name, but yep, Stocky looking quite good now. He's settled down after getting past Slimbo and will be looking to make inroads into those Ferraris, being in the Red Bull, sat in seconds in the Constructors. So, been a bit of an entertaining opening, not a lot of overtaking, but if there's one thing I'll say as a driver, front row racing in the World Championship, it's one thing putting on a broke show with loads of overtakes, but racing like this is at its best. It's pristine as a Slimbo Dude flying off the right-hander there. We're on board with the wrong car, we'll jump back quickly. The engine's still over revving for us, so we jump back. Still got the same poor camera angle, I do apologise guys. So yeah, here we go. Forget what I was talking about for a minute, because we will see if Slimbo Dude can put a move on Stocky. He's close. Is he going to throw it down the inside? No, thinks better of it. Stocky holding the middle of the track there. Nice little job. I believe Slimbo Dude may be looking to come into the pits. There you go. Those super softs are now gone. It will be interesting to see what tyres he goes on to as we bring up the tyre telemetry. So as you can see, the two Ferraris are out in front on the super soft compounds, and Calzo's in the pits. So it'll be interesting to see where he appears after putting on his tyres. He's gone on to the mediums. Very interesting call there, because the softs can make it from this point onwards, unless these guys know something I don't with tyre wear and the overcast conditions. Rai Kimi's just picked up a 3-second time penalty there, and in the pits as well was Slimbo Dude, and he has gone on to a set of mediums as well. So we'll see how these guys go with the guys on softs around them, and see what the guys on the soft compound do. Will they try to stretch this and go onto a set of supers? If they do, those medium runners could be in a bit of trouble here, because the time difference between tyre compounds, from what I've been seeing, is around super soft to medium 1.5 to 2 seconds a lap when the tyres are good. So we'll see how this goes. Looking through the field, battles out there, not a lot going on, so let's go and have a look at our leader, Konzo, see if he plans to come into the pits. That left front's looking a bit shiny on the shoulder. Is he coming in? He is indeed, so we jump back to, apologies, Stocky there, who will be carrying on. Now the lap you want to be pitting on if you're going on to these supers is around lap 15, 16, so that's the lap to watch out for, guys. If these guys do that, I would expect them to put on nothing but the super soft compound tyre. So this promotes Stocky into the lead at the moment. So Shumi Garcia has actually joined Konzo into the pits, and Konzo's gone from super softs to softs. So as I said, it is possible, but those clouds are darkening, so who knows what's going to happen in this race, guys? We could see rain. Yeah, we could see rain to spice everything up. So, Calzo is currently in 7th on the mediums. Conzo has lost out to his brother Calzo on the mediums, so Calzo really has lit those tyres up coming out the pits. As you can see, white marked on the Ferrari, we are on board with Calzo. Gonzo there, right behind his brother on these soft compounds. This might actually be a battle worth keeping an eye on, but I'm just going to flick up to RDB, who seems to have found himself right on the back of Raikkonen now. 4 tenths, there you go. Jump back to the Ferrari, see how this is developing. We've got 2 battles going on everywhere, folks. Back up to RDB, he's there. Is he going to do it? No, surely he's just going to hold off. There you go, sensible thinking there. Runs a bit wide. But that is racing. So let's jump back to the Ferraris and see how these two are getting on. We've got Conzo behind his brother RDB picking up a 3-second time penalty. We've had a change of position, we've missed it. I do apologise. Through Maggots and Beckett's, I was not expecting that. Raikkonen has lost out big time to RDB, who seems to be the man on the move, and if I'm not mistaken, may have had a brand new set of those soft tyres to run. Oh, these guys know RDB's in. RDB is in. That is very, very early for the soft compounds. I would expect him to be putting on a set of mediums from there, but we'll see how he goes. Let's jump back to the 2 Ferraris. Calzo still able to hold his brother off Conzo in the other Ferrari on the soft compounds. Now this can be doing nothing but harm to the Ferrari team, unless he's waiting for his brother to get closer, because here you go, is he going to throw it? No, thinks better of it. Now the pace of those mediums against those soft compounds, I would say at this point, is around 4 to 6 tenths slower. So if Conzo had the air, he would be pulling away with the grip unless his brother could hold on to the toe. But these two are the closest to, and I've noticed, sorry, just apologise, we've had Gonk lose out to Slimbo Dude. I believe that may have been a mistake where that happened, or we missed it through the first few corners. Apologies there, guys. The groups are now starting to kick off everywhere. But now back on board with the Ferraris. It's got to be done now. Conzo's got to make his move down the next DRS straight. He's got to stick to that gib. Oh, Ferraris, that was sideways, a bit of a drift. And that is a Force India in the background of Lovery. Closing in, having a nice little quiet debut here, so fair play fella, keep going. You never know what's going to happen towards the end. This has got to be the time. I believe he may have made a mistake on the exit there coming through Chapel, but it definitely does not look close enough. But those Ferraris are very, very quick in a straight line. Looking, no, Calzo doing a fantastic job holding off his brother here on the medium tyres. But as I said, a little bit of an update for the gap for you. They are closing in on Stocky, the leader, but it is 10th by 10th, literally corner by corner, 10th by 10th. Now I'm expecting Stocky and Will Win One to go onto the super soft compound tyres, so it will be very interesting to see where they come out, as long as they got some air to run into, where they come out into comparison to these two, because we've got Slimbo Dude, who just picked up a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately there, around 6 seconds off the lead. Now I believe when the pit stops happened, he was around 4 to 5 seconds off the lead, so it shows that Ferrari have got a hell of a lot of pace here. But if Conzo does not get this move done within the next 5 to 6 laps, excuse me, it will then sway the other way to the medium. So yeah, these two not holding back, which is great to see. But it could be devastating for them when these pit stops happen, because we're now halfway around the lap of Silverstone, and they've only taken about 7 tenths out of Stocky on the old soft tyres compared to new mediums. So you can see where I'm going with the time difference when it was brought up earlier. But now Raikkonen is in the way of these two Ferraris. That's a very late defensive move there, and I believe that was Calzo letting his brother through. I could be wrong there, and Raikkonen's now darted off into the pits and has now give Conzo some clean air, and you can see it already. Look at him pull away. Farfbar unfortunately picking up a 3-second time penalty there, unfortunate for himself, as Conzo sets the fastest lap of a 1:30.3 with DRS, but absolutely flying now. He's got clean air. You can see he's pulling away from his brother there, Calzo. We'll see how this gap opens up as the lap progresses, but it's already a second, and I believe Calzo is out of DRS now. We'll see as these two come down the back straight out of Village. May have just held on to it, could be wrong. Yes, he did. The rear wing was open. So, but now coming into the fast section on the exit of this right-hander down the old pit straight, we will see what those soft compound tyres have got over the mediums. But he was stuck there for 3-4 laps longer than he really wanted to. But yeah, the gap still remains at 1 second. Now slightly pulling away. It's gone up by a tenth. Here we go, it's now 1.2. You can see the superior grip from the soft compound tyres, but has Calzo done enough to compromise his brother's race? Conzo coming towards the end, because the mediums will come back. But now the gap is opened up to 1.1, 1.2 seconds, so the grip is there for him. Let's go and have a jump back down with the likes of RDB a minute, who seems to be right on the gearbox, sorry, not right there, but near enough, of the Haas driver of Raikkonen, and Farfba in the second Haas is slowly reeling this back in. I believe he's got another pit stop to make as Conzo sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:30.1. That is pretty damn good pace there. So fair play to him. Giving it a go and trying to get away from his brother. The gap, by the way, folks, is now up to 1.5, so it's going to be interesting to see how these guys progress. But interestingly enough, the gap to Stocky from Conzo is 18.6, from Calzo's 20 seconds. So when these guys regroup and put on their super softs, which will be in the next lap or two, it'll be interesting. What's RDB got on Raikkonen is this big moment there. Nearly went flying off. Nicely caught. Very late on the brakes there compared to Raikkonen, but we'll see if he can make a move. Coming out of Village. Ooh, way too sideways there, but that's unfortunate. May have to wait to live to fight another day and have a go down the second VRS straight. So, with all the pit stops calmed down for a minute, bar the 2 Red Bulls, I believe, I will give you a quick rundown of the order before they pit. So you've got Stocky in first, Will1 Win1 in second, Conzo third, Calzo fourth, Slimbo Dude in fifth, Shumi Garcia sixth, Gonk in seventh, Raikkonen in eighth, RDB in ninth. The battle we are currently on board with, and Raikkonen definitely gone for the cornering speed there, because RDB behind him is flying down the straights, and you can see RDB struggling a little bit as Raikkonen picks up a time penalty. Very unfortunate there. But one of those things, he's had a great couple of races as he's joined Front Row Racing. Maybe just about to have a bad race for the first time as RDB, look at that straight line speed, hitting 200 miles an hour down Hanger Straight, but Raikkonen hanging it all the way around the outside. Has he stuck it in the inside? No, Raikkonen thinks better of it and pulls back. Nice little bit of driving from RDB. Maybe the time away from Front Row has improved him as a driver, who knows. But a little bit of an update, we've got Gonk, the first driver to go from the soft compounds to the super soft. That will be interesting to see how they get on. I'm just going to jump up on front with Shumi Garcia, who's all over the back of Slimbo Dude in the Mercedes. The Mercedes team unfortunately lost Hindle. Hindle's last race was last time out. Unfortunately, I believe he has gone into the military now, so God bless, good luck, and we wish you all the best. And fair play for taking that role. But cracking on with the racing, we have Shumi Garcia all over the back of Slimbo Dude. Mercedes were a team we thought with their driver lineup would be pushing for the constructors, but have found themselves in fifth place. Sorry, I do apologise, it is fifth on 86 points, so they've got a lot of work to do as the McLaren of Shumi Garcia thinking about going to the outside. Slimbo Dude covering that off, but he's made a late move around the outside. Has he made it stick? He's definitely gone up there. Ooh, bit of a moment, not looking good. Let's jump on board with RDB back behind. The battle's still very, very tense. No, Shumi Garcia's retired from the session. Why would you do that? You were in the points, but oh well, maybe we don't know what he knows. But we got to get back up on board with Slimbo Dude. And, excuse me, do apologise about that, guys. Slimbo Dude and Stocky. The battle is still going on between the two. Stocky excuse me, has made his pit stop now. He is on the super soft tyres. I believe Will One Win One may have made the stop on the same lap, which would have cost him around 3 to 7 seconds in the turnover of tyres. So back on board with Stocky, who seems to have come out the pits and had Slimbo do for company and is now looking to make hay. But I don't think Stocky's got the laps in the bag to catch the Ferraris up ahead, because you've got Conzo on the softs now 3 seconds ahead of his brother Calzo on the mediums. Ferrari looking very, very strong for a 1-2, unless Stocky in third on his super soft compounds can pull off the comeback of his life, because he is currently 12.9 seconds behind Conzo, 10 seconds behind Calzo. We will keep an eye on Stocky's progress, because it would seem he will be the driver on the move. But let's jump back on board with RDB and Raikkonen, because this has not finished, folks. They are still going at it. Great to see what's Raikkonen got in straight line speed compared to RDB. RDB likes to run those wings really low, and it would seem that way because Raikkonen cannot even get alongside with DRS. So RDB going to be a tough customer to pass unless Raikkonen can get inventive, which he looks like he's doing. RDB slight squeeze, but all fair in Leavenworth, you can't argue with that. No forcing off track, but yeah, this might be an interesting and tasty battle for 6th and 7th all the way to the end. But let's give you guys a quick flick through, now all drivers have pitted, of the cars and the drivers as they go. So Conzo is in the lead, as we said, the gap now 3.4 seconds. It would seem the soft tyres over the mediums have got about half a second still in them. Then we have Calzo in the second Ferrari on the medium compounds, looking and waiting to see if it comes back to him towards the end. Stocky though, wow, as you saw, we were just on board with Calzo, who was exiting Maggots and Beckett's through Chapel, and Stocky is there now. So I believe they only have the gap of Hangers Straight, and Stocky, the gap's now down, excuse me, from 13 to 11.7. Stocky must be listening to what I'm saying and wanting to put on a great show. Ooh, a little bit wide there. ETL done, I saw that. Good stuff, Stocky. Nice to see drivers following the rules. But yeah, as we come across the line, just going to stay on board with Stocky for a minute before we jump back to see what the gap comes down to. It is now 11.4. Stocky with a 129.3. Absolutely flying and giving everything that Red Bull has got. But anyway, let's move on back down. Slimbo Dude, who was keeping Stocky company for a split second, on the mediums in 4th, doing a solid job for Mercedes and the sole driver at the moment. Then we have Will One Win One, who I believe has called his pit stop all wrong. No communication with the other driver. Could be wrong, but I think that's the way it's gone. All the tyres were just dead. He's in 5th place, 30.4 seconds off the lead in a bit of no man's land, because when we jump back to RDB, he's about 10 seconds behind Will One Win One. So it's interesting as it goes. Bit of a mix-up. We've got one driver on the softs, 3 on the super softs, and 5 on the mediums. But yeah, RDB a bit too far behind to make a challenge in my view. But then we've got Raikkonen 6 steps behind RDB. As I said, these two will be like this all the way to the end, unless one makes a mistake. We hope you don't. Good stuff, guys. Then moving on to Lauren. Looking good and composed for his first drive in front row racing, picking up some points in 8th as long as he finishes, so it's good to see that. Well done, fella, keep it going. And before you know it, you could find yourself in a good battle with a rival. Moving on down to Gonk, he's kept it clean, he's kept it neat, he's a minute off the pace, but he's still in the points, he's still going. I don't know why Shumi Garcia had his DNF, why he left. It could have been internet connection, who knows, but this has promoted the likes of Lauren, Gonk and others up the grid. And just to give you a rundown, we have lost Shumi Garcia in 10th, as you saw, Farfba in 11th, as you saw, and Uzi early in the race. So unfortunately there, we are now down to 9 drivers. We were meant to have a few more on grid, but it's one of those things. We have drivers to signed up to drive, but if they don't turn up, we can't do anything about it. But I'm sure a little word in the owner's ears to see if we can find out what's going on to open up these seats and get drivers in that want to race, or if these drivers can just inform us of what's going on. But moving on, Oh, sorry, I'll stick on that topic for a minute because looking through the field, we don't really have a battle that close. Even Raikimi's fallen off the back of RDB, the gap's now 1.2, so yeah, excuse me. As I said earlier in the show, guys, it's the World Series tonight. This is assists allowed racing. If you're interested in joining or know someone that may be able to come and stop the likes of Konzo Calzo up at the front end, because this is a dominant force in the Ferrari team, drop us a message. You can find us on Facebook. Let us know if you're interested in non-assist racing. We hold that event fortnightly on a Wednesday. It took place yesterday, but as I said, this is the World Series. This is where our assist drivers race. You are allowed any assist you want, apart from braking and the pit assist plus clutch release, because we found we've taken away pit assist, clutch release, manual starts. It's actually made for a bit more entertaining race. The driver's a bit closer, they have to get their judgment right. So it will be staying that way unless the drivers feel they want it changed for the next season. Hopefully not. But yeah, this is the World Series. This event happens fortnightly on a Thursday. You know, the event starts at 7:30 PM. If you're an assist user and feel like you've got the pace, got the talent to come and take the fight to these guys, or just enjoy racing and want to come along for the fun, drop us a message on Facebook. We'll get in touch with the information you need and give you the information we need from yourself, i.e. a screenshot of your internet connection, PSN name, and make sure you understand the rules before you go racing. If you do, great stuff. If you don't, you feel free to ask and we'll explain as we go. So, as I said, this is the World Series. If you want to come along, give it a go, drop us a message. You can find us on Facebook. Feel free to have a nose through the videos and events we have already had this season and see what you think. Come along, give it a go. What's the worst going to happen? You walk away because you're not quite there yet with what's going on here. But even better, you turn it, you give it a go, and you enjoy it, and take the fight to this man we're on board with, because somebody's got to. Even his brother in the same car, who is on a harder compound, is starting to struggle to take the fight to him. Maybe it'd be time for Ferrari to back one of their drivers, but we shall see, as Gonk picks up a 3-second time penalty. Now, keeping an eye on the clouds as we go and the weather, guys. Keeping a close eye on the cars, because I don't know if it'll rain. It might not. The shadows seem too good for the rain now. So, let's have a quick flick back down to RDB and Raikimi. They are still at it within half a second. Raikimi's obviously found a little bit of pace, or RDB may have made a mistake. But they're back at it. It's good to see. Throughout the field, guys. Calzo picking up a 3-second time penalty. Sorry, guys. There's RDB. No, he's got it covered. Stocky has lost a position to Slimbo Dude. Interesting. Just gonna jump on board. I see no wing damage, nothing. It must have been a big mistake, because he was about 3 seconds behind Slimbo. Excuse me. And before we left Stocky, and the last time I checked, the gap he had over Slimbo Dude was around 5 seconds. So that is a hell of a mistake there. And any chance he did have a catch at Calzo, especially with a 3-second time penalty, has now absolutely vanished. So it'd be interesting to see how these guys go, but let's jump back onto the closest cars on grid. As you can see, it's still Raikimi and RDB. I'm keeping an eye on 8th and 9th, and that would be Lover and Gongan. Oh, RDB left the door wide open, and I think Raikimi thought that was a bit unfair and has let him go. And if that is the case, that is exactly what we like to see. You don't go diving down the inside, and I believe that's even RDB there, giving him a little wave to say thank you, very sporting, which is always good to see between the drivers. We don't like the guys thrown out, using the car to get around the corner, a bit like Raikimi there did there, and he fairly said, oh, that's my fault, I'll let him back through, and I believe RDB's given the signal to say, yeah, I appreciate that. Great stuff to see there. But yeah, as I was saying, Stocky got a 3-second time penalty. We're going to jump back on board with him shortly, because he is closing that gap up to Slimbo Dude again. RDB taking the wider line is what you'd you'd stay as the wet line through the corner when it's raining intermediates, but that line does work. So maybe something Kimmy can actually take note on a look at, because RDB, whoa, Kimmy absolutely missed the apex there. God knows how he kept that on track. Beautiful stuff. But yeah, here we go. Maggots and Beckett. Whoa, whoa. Where's Kimmy going? Ooh, what is going on? We may have just seen what may have happened to Stocky. Yeah, it's allowed Lovren. Whoa, he's no. Gonk. Sorry guys, I'm jumping back on board with Gonk, because Gonk might benefit the most from this. Are the cars going yet? Nope, Gonk has taken the pair. Kimmy going. Lovren. Sorry. I just so much space to the left of Kimmy there, and you could see his car was going to come back. An unfortunate event there. We may see both drivers into the pits. No, Kimmy looks to have his wing intact, but Lovren, is he going to pit? Keep going, fella. Pick the points up. Don't stop. Some key people have retired and missed out now, and he slowed it down nicely. Good stuff there. But let's jump back on board. As I said, Slimbo Dude, Stocky is reading them in. The gap is now around the 5/10ths mark, excuse me, who's just jumped up. I believe Stocky's may be struggling with those rear tyres like mad. Out of Chapel with Maggots and Beckett's before that, it seemed the shine on the shoulder, the inside shoulder is there already. He's still got a lap and a bit to do, but I don't know if he's got it in the tyres to actually challenge Slimbo Dude. But I know penalties have been handed around by the in-game stewards today, so it'd be interesting to see who finishes where. But we're going to stay on board with this one, see how these guys go. As you can see, Stocky really losing the rear there. I think those rear tyres have had it. They are screaming at him now, saying, I can't do this. But we don't know the condition of Slimbo's. They will be better, but being the mediums, has he got enough within himself and the car and the tyres to stay ahead of Stocky? You give Stocky half a chance, he'll bite your arm off. He's one of those drivers. So, yeah, moving on, coming round, just check on our leaders. Konzo just coming up to Maggots and Beckett, so we'll stick on board with these two to see how this develops. Once give it another 30 seconds. RDB now picking up a 3-second time penalty for the admin's pick rookie car. Not great stuff. The penalties are flying out today. I must admit, whoa, Stocky taking a really attacking line there. It's a shame Slimbo had it covered, or has he? Has it? No, Stocky, no, is he? Oh, no, thinks about it. Slimbo Dude covered that. Has Stocky got anything left? He's on the grass. He's giving it everything, every inch. Let's jump on board with Konzo as he comes up to the line. It's been a dominant race between him and his brother, who you'll see now. Great win by Konzo there. Konzo bringing up the rear for Ferraris in second. 5.2 seconds off the lead, but a 1-2 Ferrari may have just sent out a message to all drivers within the league and their teams to say, you're not touching us, this is ours. But here comes Slimbo Dude up to the line with Stocky in close pursuit, and it finishes with Slimbo Dude and Stocky as they were. Will one win one? Been in a bit of a race of his own today, but he's come home in 5th, done a nice little job for Red Bull, but Red Bull I don't think will be happy with Ferrari getting the 1-2. But the man, the admin's pick rookie RDB, nice little job there, done a fantastic job. Come through the field after a couple of little moments and done what I'd call a pretty damn good race as the admin's pick rookie. And yeah, come along, gave it a go yesterday, so he's got the track experience and he's put in a pretty damn good job for what's what. Then looking back, we've got Gonk, who picked up the pieces between Kimmy and Lovren. Kimmy lost it, Lovren hit him. Just an unfortunate racing incident in my opinion. But this man Gonk kept it neat, kept it tidy, kept it out of the walls, kept it off the grass, kept it on the black stuff, and found himself in 7th. Does he have any penalties to take it away from him? Kimmy coming up, it would seem no. Then we're looking back for Lovren, who is on the super soft compound. It would seem he made a stop. It looks like, yeah, front wing replaced. So we'll watch this man come around the final few corners and into the final sector of Silverstone. So qualifying was exciting. It was wet. The race a bit tame, a bit boring at the beginning, but then it came alive and drivers started to make mistakes with their strategies and everything else going on. But yeah, nice little race all round. Here he comes, Lovren on his debut, picking up 9th, good couple of points. And this is what we say, keep going till the end. You don't know when it will I missed something here, guys? I might have. I may have just got that completely wrong. I've been watching drivers cross the line and wins being taken, but it's still going on. So that's very interesting. We'll now watch RDB come up to the line again. May have missed something there, but I just watched the drivers cross the line. So yeah, we'll see what happens as RDB very, very lucky across the line now. So Gonk still got a few more corners to go before it can be confirmed. I'm gonna have to check this footage back, guys, because I swear I see him cross the line already. But yeah, so if not, my mistake, folks, and I'm having one of those days. But I've been here alone and solo, and it's been a bit entertaining. But you should see, whoa, big crash there after the line, thank God. You will hear the likes of Jamie James back alongside me in a fortnight's time, so you won't just have to put up with my voice alone, as annoying as it is. So here we go, folks. The guys on the podium this evening are Konzo in first, Calzo in second, and Slimbo Dude in the Soul Mercedes, doing a great job there to fend off the Red Bulls. It'd be interesting to get Stocky's thoughts, which I'm sure the drivers will want to know what happened there, considering he lost 10 seconds from somewhere. But that's racing. You push too hard, you give a little too much, the track will bite you. But yeah, as we see, Konzo takes the top step, Calzo takes the second step, with Slimbo Dude bringing up third. That was round 8, Silverstone, and here is your confirmed drivers' finishing positions until the stewards have their say. So, in first we had Konzo, in second Calzo, in third Slimbo Dude. They were our podium sitters, and we will hear from them shortly. In fourth we had Stocky, in fifth Will One Win One, Red Bull making up a little bit there. RDB in the Sauber Admins pick rookie did a great job. Gonk in seventh for Williams. Nice little job there, it shows. Keep it clean, keep it real, keep it out of walls, and you will get the points at the end. Then we got Raikimi in 8th, and then Lauren in 9th. Our DNFs, well, going to be a bit of a guessing game. I believe it to be Farfborough in the Haas, in the Force India was Uzi, and in the other McLaren has slipped my mind, I believe. Sorry guys, I cannot actually remember who drives the other McLaren. It's been one of those days, but that's your drivers' finishing positions for this evening, and I will shortly invite Konzo, Calzo and Slimbo Dude. I'm going to have to apologise now, folks, because I'm going to have to bring up the blue screen because I have no one with me to invite the drivers. So I apologise about the delay. I will be as quick as I can, hopefully only a couple of seconds. So apologies about that, guys, we're now back. I'm now just waiting for the 3 drivers to join us. I don't know if Calzo will be joining us, we will find out shortly, but we shall see. Just waiting for, as we can see, Konzo and Slimbo Dude in the lobby. Slimbo Dude has just joined us. Hello fella, how are you?
I'm doing good, G.
Not too bad, not too bad. It was a bit of a entertaining race, bit wet, bit dry, and then it all kicked off at the end, so yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. So, we now have Konzo with us, folks, and Calzo has joined, so we have a full house. If you guys are ready, I'm happy to crack straight on with this.
Go ahead.
Are you with us, Konzo?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah. Wet qualifying, dry race. Thoughts on a dominating performance from what we see, apart from your brother trying to push you, and the only difference between you was the tyre compound. Talk us through it, fella.
Yeah, well, didn't do too much practice for this one, but found a good setup. And then obviously we seen it was wet, and I was like, oh no, not wet. It's the what is it wasn't even the intermediate conditions. It was full wet. Uh, Thankfully, I managed to. Well, I didn't have the greatest first run, and thankfully I got into the pits in time and got another set of tyres on. And then went out and only just beat Callum's time, even though he was out. I think 3 laps, old wets when he set his fastest lap, so it was pretty close. I think Callum might have had me in qualifying, but it wasn't in the end of the day, and it kind of proved to be quite pivotal, to be honest with you, with the race, because once I got the lead into turn one, it was kind of like I could decide when I was pitting and how fast I was going and stuff like that. So, I mean, the gap was pretty close between us. I think it stayed at about a second first stint, and obviously you got the undercut on me for the after the pit stop. So he was on the mediums. I said I was going to go for the softs. He said he was going to go for the mediums because he's tyre wear. That's literally what it was. And in the end, tyre wear just proved to be too much for him. And yeah, managed to win in the end.
Well, it was a great victory. I mean, qualifying was a bit tense for viewing it, and it was very, very tight throughout the whole session. So, congratulations on pipping your brother. I mean, that's one up in it. So, as you go on,
time.
yeah. But yeah, that explains the medium and soft compounds decision between the cars, which was I was going to ask your brother, but you've done a bit of the interview for me, so thank you very much.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, no. You can still ask him though.
Yeah, no worries. So, but no, congratulations. I think you've pretty much covered everything, apart from what I will say is us World Championship drivers had it the other way yesterday. We had full wet quali, dry race, so no, sorry.
Other way around, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, dry quality wet race. Right, okay. Right. You got there in the end.
Yeah, solo. Sorry, guys. Yeah, dry quality wet race. So it could have been worse for 26 laps. Was my point. But no, congratulations. Hopefully we're gonna employ someone at Front Row Racing to take you off the top step at the moment, but we're struggling. But no, good. cracking stuff there, and it's good to have you back up here. Given you've had a couple of bad races as well, haven't you, Conzo?
Yeah, footage has been a bit of a problem for me. Yeah, but that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah, no worries. With the point lead you got, I'm sure you don't mind. But no, congratulations, fella. And what I'll do now is I'll move on to Calzo. Calzo, you there, my good man?
Yeah, I'm here.
That sounds a very disappointed man. Talk us through your race. Is it one of those things between the brothers?
I just sitting behind him in the first stint. It was the dirty air was so bad after lap 6. It was just hard to keep with him, and I just kept going in and out of the second gap, and we weren't really close enough to go side by side really the whole race. And the only time we were side by side is when I let him through and he was in the fastest tyres.
Ah, you did let him through. It did look a bit dubious on that. It was like you went defensive and then slammed on the anchors, but no, it's fair enough. Is it one of those things where you thought he would get you in the end anyway, or?
Well, it was either let him through or let him drive right behind me, like really close for the rest of the race, because he was even the gap was staying the same at the end, but like lap 23 was the only time when I started getting faster in the mediums. So yeah, the mediums were not great.
Just a few laps too late, but it's one of those tracks, Silverstone, isn't it? It's kind of line of stone. Once you're in position, it's very, very difficult to overtake you, as some of the viewers don't understand. Because the opening part of the race, you all sort of held station. The odd move happened, but no, it's good stuff there. Are you planning to take the fight to your brother from here on out? We need someone to beat him, and we're hoping it's you, Calzo.
The gap's like 60 points, something like that. So I'm pretty much gonna have to win every single race at the end of the season to even have a chance. And if he finishes on the podium, it makes it even harder. So I've not really been putting in much practice either. Like, we both hopped on today and put in a couple of time trial laps, but I've done no race practice whatsoever. So yeah, that might have been why I was a bit ignorant of what tyre to go on.
Well, your two's pace for lack of practice was actually quite impressive, I must admit, and you may have just sunk couple of drivers from the WS stating you haven't had practice and just turned up and done that. So, thanks, guys.
Setup is definitely key on this game, though. If you get a good setup and you've already won half the battle.
Well, there you go, guys. It would seem the Ferraris have a good setup. If you want to annoy and harass them, see if you can get out of them, it might be well worth doing it. So, but what I'll do now, guys, is I'll move into our third place slitter, Simbo Dude, who's been sat quietly and patiently. How you doing, fella?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty good performance. What did you make of the conditions, topsy-turvy, and the grid seemed a little bit back to front with the Red Bulls a bit further back than they'd like. And, I mean, talk us through your race, because it seemed a bit, 1 minute you're pushing, 1 minute you're fighting, 1 minute you're in no man's land, if you will.
Yeah, it was very much like that. Like in qualifying, like I saw it was raining, and just like most people, I assume went, "Oh God," but I managed to pull something out the bag. Wet conditions being my weak point, but then in the race, I thought I'd be attacking the Ferraris a lot more. I was confident going into this race, but turned out it wasn't. But yeah, it became apparent halfway through the race I picked the wrong strategy, and I had lost quite a bit of time, and I just didn't have the pace on the mediums to keep up, or to keep Stocky behind. So I was just trying to run my own race, and as I saw Stocky spinning out of the Maggots Beckett section, I knew that was my chance for a podium, so I just battled my heart out and kept my foot in and just tried to get the third place spot.
Well, fair play, you did well, and I did pick up on that when the change happened, but I completely missed it because we were following another battle a little bit further down. I mean, did you see the instant that Stocky had? Because I know it was on his own, and there was no lap cars. Did you actually see it? What happened in Maggots and
Um,
Beckett's?
I saw him rejoining the track. That's all I saw, and then after I went past, there was about a 2 second gap. So
Yeah, it must have been a big moment because I believe Stocky was about 5 seconds in front of you, 5 or 6, and then
yeah, about that.
about 3 behind you. So it's about a 10-second incident. So it'd be interesting to get Stocky's thoughts on that, but we probably won't hear from him for a few days now. Bless him. But yeah, well done, Slimbo Dude. What's your intentions going forward? I mean, you're quietly going about your business. In the standings, you are currently sat 5th on 49. Are you going to try and push the likes of Stocky, Calzo, Will One Win One? They're only about 30, 40 points up ahead of you.
That is the aim. Like, I knew I'd be on the a bit of a back foot, like joining halfway through the season. But yeah, that is the aim. Within attacking distance, so I know there's battles for championship.
Well, that's good to hear. So someone in the name of Slimbo Dude's going to try and take the fight. That's what we like to hear here at Front Row Racing, my good man. So, no, well done. You've just to give you a bit of info, Slimbo. Hindle has vacated his seat. He's moved on to the military, I believe.
Wow.
So, what we will do, we will be in touch with you and give you a couple of drivers to pick from over the next 5 to 10 days as your new teammate. Okay, fella?
Right.
So you won't be solo for long.
No, I hope not.
No, so we'll see if we can get you a teammate sooner rather than later, and you can then take the fight in the constructors as well. So that's good stuff there. Is there anything else you guys would like to ask or add before I wrap up the show?
No.
Not really, no. I'll just add the reason why me and Cam kind of swapped midway through the race. I was behind him for about 3 laps, and we were still actually worried about Stocky because if he went for the same strategy I was going, he was going to be on the fastest tyre, and he would always catch us until, well, it looked like he spun, or he lost it out of Maggots and Beckett, so that's part of the reason why we swapped. But I don't think we'll swap from now on, though.
No. Race your race, mate. Could have made a great show.
No,
But
second half of the season, so yeah, you gotta
yeah,
go for it.
very, very true there. But no, that's the battle we were looking forward to. I did bring it up on the broadcast. I thought Stocky would be the man on the charge, but I think it just got too much or pushed one corner too much. So, you've heard the thoughts from the drivers, guys. You will see these 3 drivers back on track in 2 weeks' time, where we will be in Budapest for round 11. A bit of a track like Silverstone, one of those ones, follow a train, but you can see some great overtakes there. It can be done. So, I'd like to congratulate Gonzo on his win, Kelzo on his second, and Slimbo Dude on his third, who's quietly going about his business. It's good to see. And we will be back with you in 2 weeks' time for the World Series with myself and Jeremy James. And we'll see how these guys get on. And then from there, we plan to have the WC back up with broadcast. We are now advertising. So if you are interested in becoming the broadcaster or commentator for Front Row Racing on a Wednesday fortnightly for the World Championship, drop us a message at Facebook where you can find us under Front Row Racing. Other than that, I have been Front Row Racing C2, known as Coming to Get You 85, and I've been joined by these three guys who have put on a great show and shown their dominance. So, other than that, guys, we will see you 2 weeks' time, Budapest. Tune in, it could be a great race. Good night, God bless.